lightly. Now the leaves are done in a different way. You fold them on the diagonal, and then you're going to stitch around the two raw edge sides to hold that together. And after you've stitched around the two raw edges, you fold it in half again and press. Now I'm going to stitch one more time just along this edge to hold these two flaps together. And once these are stitched together so that they don't open up, we're going to, one more time, press it. We're going to bring one point in about 3/4 of the way, and the other point in about 3/4 of the way, and this creates our leaf shape. That gets hand basted and gathered. If you don't have a sewing machine and you want to do these leaves by hand, you don't have to sew them per se. You just have to hold on tight. So you fold it and press it, and fold it and press it again. And you're going to fold in the two corners and hold it in place with your fingers to make your leaf, and then you can baste it together with a long stitch. Long running stitch. So I go in and I come back out and in and I come back out, and then when I pull it tight, it gathers it, and there's one little leaf. To make a flower bud, you take one of your short little pieces and you baste along the curved edge, along the raw edges. I just put a knot in my thread, and then I go in and out with a bunch of big stitches. Like that. When you get to the end, you're going to gather it by pulling lightly. You can see it scrunches up like that, and then you're going to put a knot in the end. Now to turn this into a flower bud, you just start to roll the flower, matching the raw edges at the bottom, like that. And that's a little rosebud. And you stitch it shut. I go through a couple times, back and forth. To hold it. Now to turn this little rosebud into a bigger flower, I take the big flower piece and I roll it around the little bud in the middle. You can see I use two different colors. It's a little darker in the middle. You can use the same color if you want. You can do contrasting colors. I just picked a shade a little bit darker. You try to keep the raw edges even. and then you stitch them together. I just put my needle straight through and out the other side a couple of times around the base of the flower to hold it together. These little flowers can be used as a decoration on a garment. You could make pins out of them, put them on clips so that they can be clipped to something. You can put them on combs to put in your hair, or a barrette. You could decorate a frame, a fabric frame with them, or a book cover. You know, those photo fabric book covers. They can be hot glued to things. When you get it stitched a few times in and out of the base, I just take a couple stitches in the same spot and put a knot in it. Oops, I lost the end of my thread. Put a knot in it, and then that's that. And there's my little rose. Now at this point, you might want to add a leaf or two. So after I put my knot in the base of the flower, I can take the leaf base and attach it with just a couple of stitches. So sometimes you have a rose that you put together and it seems kind of plain and you want to maybe spruce it up. So you can make little petals and add the leaf or the petals to the flower around it and brighten it up a bit. And the petal is made by taking your petal piece, folding it in half, and it's the same method. You just put a knot in the end of your thread, and then you do a bunch of big gathering stitches, 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch from the edge all the way around the petal. And then when you gather it up, it's a nice little sculptural round petal. So I'm going to take my little petal, I'm just going to add it to the base of this flower.